my personal F-150 that I bought brand new back in 1999. His name is Bruce. He's going to help us with this demonstration. The first thing we're going to do, we're going to start on the passenger side of the vehicle. And the first thing I like to do is disconnect the battery. And that's to protect the vehicle as well as yourself. In my case, it's just mainly to protect the vehicle. That's all I need for my wife to tell me she needs for me to do something, and I forgot I have my truck torn apart and I need my truck because I drive my truck every day. All right, next thing, we got that done. Let me get a drop light here. Put a drop light down here. Okay. Situated. We have the core pack, which is here. We have a nut, a bolt here that takes a 7mm. We have the injector here. So what we're going to do, we're just going to, you got a clip here for the injector. Let's get it out the way. We're just going to squeeze that together and pull it on up. There we go. Be careful, it has a red boot in here. Sometimes they like to pop out. So you don't want to lose that. If it do pop out, just put it back in the harness. All right, we're going to move this out the way. Spot to put the drop light. Sometimes I hate drop lights, but you can't work without them. Okay, that's the bolt that we're going to take loose with a 7mm. And we're going to take this harness off. We need to take this harness off. And this is the core pack. And once we get the bolt out, we're going to pull the core pack right on up. Okay, let's move this harness. We got a clip on the bottom of this. So just try to pull that clip. You gotta mash in that clip that's on the bottom and just slide it right on up. Okay. There's a clip right on the bottom of that where my finger is. Okay. Just gonna move that out the way. And let's see here. Turn your bolt counterclockwise. Make sure you keep up with all your screws. You don't want to lose anything. I like to keep a little box, something to just, anytime I'm working on something, that's how I keep up with all my bolts. And when you put it back together, you still have a bolt in there. You know you didn't do something quite right. All right. See how, let me get this camera. See how loose it is? So let's just go ahead and pull it up. And it's going to have a boot on the bottom of it. That's going to, it goes around a spark plug. Remove this drop light. Get a better view. Hope you can see that. There you go. So, this is your core pack. Each one of the spark plugs will have this. And if you happen to replace your core pack, I prefer to get them straight from the Ford dealer. That's just the way I am. I believe in when I need a part, Ford part, I get it from the Ford dealer if I can. If I need a GM part, I get it from the GM dealer if I can when it comes to electrical. Okay, let's see here. Now, first of all, what I like to do and what I have failed to do, I like to blow around with an air chuck all of the plugs, the core pads, before I pull them out. So I jumped the gun here. So I want to clean all of this out because the spark plug is inside that hole, and I do not want any of this dirt to go in that hole. So what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to just stick the core pad back in it, not all the way, and cut on my air compressor and just blow this out. Okay, need to clean off the core pack. All right, I'm going to stick it back in. Like I said, not all the way. Okay, now that we got it cleaned out all around the core, that looks much better. Got rid of the dirt. And before we even attempt to pull the plug out, let's go ahead and blow in here. Just in case some dirt or debris has fell inside. All right, let's get a ratchet and pull this plug out. We'll be using a 5/8 deep well socket. I like to use the one that, I don't know if you can see it, it has the rubber boot inside. And I like that rubber boot because in case you happen to cock or you don't have your socket aligned, that it will protect the spark plug from breaking. And we're going to use a 3/8 ratchet with an extension. You're going to turn it non-clockwise. And it may be pretty tight. What I like to do, once I turn it like 1/4 inch. Then I just like to go back, tighten it back. Then I like to turn it a 1/2 inch. Then I like to go back, turn it back a 1/4 inch, turn it in. Then I like to go and just turn a 1/2 inch. Then I like to go back, turn it in a 1/4 inch. And then after that, I feel comfortable and I can hear it working its way out. I don't feel any kind of friction. I just go ahead and just screw it out. Now, I like to do this with the engine cold. I had my truck in here overnight. I do not recommend to do it when the engine is hot. Some will, some people will, some will not. I'm just showing you the way I do it. Okay. Let's see here. And there she go. Oh yeah, it was time for her to be changed. And I had that little white carbon buildup. Yeah, I actually went over 100,000 miles. Okay. So these are the spark plugs that you will be using. Motorcraft. And I like to keep Motorcraft with Ford. Ford and Motorcraft are as one. I believe in using the same product that the vehicle came with. That's what they have engineers for. And I'm not going to change anything. All right. Also with the spark plugs, I'm old school. So when I was growing up, this is what we had to do. We checked spark plug gaps. Now with the technology and the machinery that they have, they're pretty much accurate, but I still have that old habit. I've been doing this ever since I was 16, so I still had that old habit of checking spark plug gaps. The spark plug gap should be 054 to 056. So we just want to check it, take time to get and it's right on the money. So I'm going to do each one like this. You never know. And we're going to put our new spark plug back in the hole. And I have to say I am quite pleased to see see how the old spark plug look. It has that, if you notice, that normal white chalk carbon. It's not black, it's not oil. Now, if you have one that has oil, you need to be concerned. That's another video. Okay, just take your time putting her back in. You don't want to cross thread. And just, that'll do it. You don't have to put a pipe wrench or anything like that on it. Just tighten her down. So now that we have our spark plug back in the hole here, we're going to put our core pack back in place. And you just, once you get it lined up, just push it down. Just kind of walk it in there and just make sure she's in there good. Lined up. There she go. And we'll put our bolt back in place. Then we have our bolt back in place. We're going to tighten her up. This is another item you don't want to over tight. We just want to make sure that it's in there good. And like I said, it takes a 7mm socket to remove the core pack and a 5/8 3/8 deep well 3/8 socket to pull out the spark plug. Okay, we got her on there. And all we have to do is make sure our wire harness is back in place. And don't forget the one for your injector. Put it back in place. Okay, so now I have 7 more to go. Okay, let's see. So we pull the cover off so that we can, we're gonna take this bracket loose and just move the power steering reservoir to the side. And that way we can get to the coil pads a lot easier. We're just gonna get this out of the way. Okay, so we got those 2 bolts out the way. Let's get this one. See if we get this plate out the way. That's a big help. And you just pop this clamp loose from this bracket if you wanna, if you need more room. And we can see our coil pack is right there. You got the next one over here, so we just work our way on over. Okay. Okay, again, we're gonna take time to blow any kind of trash and debris away. Okay. Now I have everything out of the way. Okay, broke that loose. Okay, now that I have broken it loose, pull the bolt out. And we already blowed around here, so I'm not worrying about any kind of trash going down into it. Just, oops, and pull this wire harness loose. Okay, got the wire harness loose. Let's go ahead and pull this up. There we go. That's what you want. Okay. And you can see the spark plug right down there. There you go. I wish they all was located like this, just straightforward. Okay. All right, we'll go ahead and get them out. Not bad. Now, most of the spark plugs actually came out this easy. I only had one spark plug that was a little scary, and that was the first one that we took out. And that's the one that I had to go back and forth on. But for the most part, the rest of them came out like this one. There we go. That's what we want. Perfect. Okay. I checked my gap, my spark plug gap. We want to put our new one right back in. Sometimes I like to turn it counterclockwise just to make sure it's lined up with the threads. Then I turn it clockwise. We go ahead and turn it in. And I do it with my hand. Because you can turn any bolt or spark plug with your hand. You got to be doing right. I like to do that just to get it started. Can't go wrong. Worst thing you want to do is strip a thread, especially anything dealing with a cylinder head. Okay. All right. Put the coil back in it. Make sure my bolt came out. Good. I don't want to leave anything in there. I like to blow off this boot. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do is do the remaining 3. And I'm not going to bore you with that. Okay, all right, we're wrapping things up. We have replaced all the ones on the driver's side. And everything went well with that. I just want to say that it took a little time. I'll say that I have spent a good probably hour and 15 minutes on that side, at least an hour and 15 minutes, and maybe more. So don't be worried about the time that you spend on it. Just take your time and do it right. That's what's important. Okay, so like the only issue that I had was the number 5 core. It actually, when I try to pull it out, it actually was stuck to the spark plug, and the spring just stretched, and it just stretched apart pretty much. And then when I got it out, the boot was stuck inside of it. So anyway, I got a hold of the local parts store, and they sold me a new boot. Cost $8.47, part number 49812. And apparently this must be a common problem. So I guess I was lucky that it only happened to me once. And so what I'm gonna do, get this spring out here. Take this apart. We don't need that anymore. And make sure that is up in there good. Slide the boot on and drop it back in the hole. And that should take care of it. All right. All right, I believe we are ready to crank Bruce back up. And I have connected the battery post, and I believe he is good to go. Now, if you happen to do a job the way we have done it, and you crank your vehicle up and your vehicle runs rough, don't be alarmed. Just let it run, just let it idle. And what you do, just shut it off once it warms up, and then crank it back up 15 minutes later, and hopefully it'll just smooth out. Especially if you don't have an engine light or anything like that that actually came on. Sometimes when you disconnect a battery post from a vehicle, some vehicles just act a little funny at first. And it's like the ECM is just trying to reprogram itself. So let's crank them up.
everything runs great. Listen, thank you for watching my video. And for those who have not subscribed, first of all, I want to thank everyone who has subscribed. And if you have not subscribed, what are you waiting on? Just hit that button, that red button, and you'll automatically be tuned into my channel. This channel is to help everyone and anyone to save $1. That's what I am all about. Thank you for watching.